brand new start. You've been living on the edge with forever as a pledge. No more giving it up, turning me loose, setting us free. Baby, keeping it real, cause we got what takes for sure. There's no turning back anymore. Can you see it's all a game? Life goes on all the same. If at first you don't succeed, all you've got is all you need. If you believe, then stake your claim.
Hey, 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 Rise and Thrivers. Welcome to a brand new month. It is April 2026, and it is Monday night, April 6th of 2026, and welcome to Rise and Thrive Together. We've got a phenomenal month, and I'm excited to talk about this topic that we have with you. But before we even begin, we want to remind you who we are. We are Rise and Thrive Together, and we are a vibrant community committed to educating and empowering and equipping you to get the results that you want through real talk and taking real actions. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. If you're watching the replay, hello, hello, hello to the replay as well. Just make sure that you kind of like put your insights and your comments and questions because Raquel and I always love you guys as our Rise Thrivers to just participate with us. Hello, sis. Looking beautiful. Love the hair. Love just everything. You're looking quite vibrant tonight.
Thank you. You are
Yeah,
looking very relaxed. I like it.
thank you. So, I am so excited just to be here with you. I feel like, I haven't seen you in a long time, right? Um,
How
I'm
you
really
feeling?
I'm good. I am finally, just in case anybody's been paying attention beside Raquel, um, back to normal. Hearing is back to normal. There's once in a while some ringing, but hearing's good. Allergies good. No more talking like I'm in a can. So very excited for that.
Yay.
Yay, yay, yay. Love it. I love how everything to do with your hair, right? You had it the long and the braids, and now it's all
Oh,
short and twisted. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. We'll remind everybody. I hope you had a blessed, peaceful, joyful, whatever that may be, Easter weekend and Passover. Um, big holiday season. And just asking you quickly, was there anything that you did this weekend, sis?
Just deliveries.
Nice. Doing her deliveries.
Mhm.
Deliveries need to be done. We just got
Yeah.
one at our house right before we get on here.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did. Josh is like, I walked in the house, guys, waiting, waiting, waiting. And Josh is just like, I got a package. And he's like, where's my package? I said, are you tracking it? And he's like, well, it said it was coming tonight. And I'm like, you can click the track. And it's literally like when it's close to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, not yet, not yet. And then all of a
Aw.
sudden he's like, it's here. And he ordered the wrong thing.
Oh, no.
Yes, it's all good. It's all good. So thank you, Raquel, and everybody else who does deliveries. 'Cause this is like, I think, so exciting because I was not, to be honest, like excited. She says I'm so relaxed.
You are.
Behind the scenes, if you would have seen like everything I was to post everything up like an hour beforehand. And probably at 7:45, I was inside wetting the hair, throwing on some makeup, crunched it, was like, I'm keeping the t-shirt, threw on some earrings and sat down, put on a bracelet and was like, how do you want this to go? I'm like, I am chill and I am relaxed. So it's funny because behind the scenes, but it's the way of being, guys, right into it, the way of being, and go straight into our topic about, how do I want to be and what do I want to ask myself how this whole night's going to go for the rest of the night, at least my 30 minutes with you. And I asked myself, how do you want it to go? And I was like, I just wanted to be chill and relaxed. So I love that you literally said that.
See? So you got what you asked for.
And with that being said, my peoples of Rise and Thrive Together, welcome to this month's theme, the art of asking. We've got 4 weeks, not five, and I feel like we need to do 2 months, like this month and next month, because really sitting back and literally this beautiful. I got to give everybody a moment because Raquel just does these great, graphics, and I don't even think I put the graphic up. I did. I love this. I absolutely love this graphic, guys. She is brilliant. Look at the puzzle pieces, right? Me and her in puzzle pieces. And it says the art of asking. Ask bigger and live fuller. So, this is what we are going to dive into this whole month. And I can honestly say, I probably would, it's not going to just disappear this month. It's going to be I'd say, a big conversation, at least for myself, to thread that fully through the end of the year.
Can
So,
I just add in one thing about the
sure.
puzzle pieces?
Yeah.
And that is because April is Autism Awareness Month,
Oh, thank you for
and they
sharing that.
symbolize it with puzzle pieces. So that was the purpose behind that.
I love it.
And yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
beautiful. Raquel is, and I try to, check out what's happening every month. Last month, there's more than just Women's History Month last month, but that's what we chose. And thank you for sharing that, sis, because as I was creating, what are we going to talk about here inside the art of asking? Because there's so much. It became a puzzle piece inside of flowing through the theme. But thank you for sharing that about autism awareness and for everybody out there. You know, we just want to keep that conversation going. So there's lots of resources out there for you, and we can post them in our Rise and Thrive Together Facebook community page if you're looking for that. We'll start with please ask anything that you want, right? Anything that you're looking for, all it is in the conversation of a request. We're using the word ask, but of a request. So I am really psyched, sis, about this because I have reconnected with someone who has been going through something personally, had some surgery, and haven't heard from her in a really, really long time. And, just really got her world, right? Like just our whole entire world about what's been going on. And it was really in that conversation where just holding that space for her to realize she's like, man, I haven't asked anybody for
Mm.
anything, because it was really heavy and, like not that she's, you know, like making it so significant, but it's been a pretty challenging time for the past couple of months since the surgery. And although she has family in the area where she lives and, and friends, she's single, she lives alone. And there's those moments, right? That, you know, she's like, well, I live by myself. I've got to, do this by myself, right? Because I do all these things for myself, because I live by myself. But it was really kind of very cool because she said, I didn't even think about the whole like asking. And so I love this, conversation because we have really painted this first quarter to have people start looking at our journey. What's the destiny that we're having, right? We started talking about the art of our destiny in January, and we have the resilience in February, and then we closed out an amazing month about boundaries, reminding everyone that not everyone deserves a front row to our growth. But what we're really talking about now is once we've kind of have an idea, if you guys have created an opportunity of what your first quarter looks like or what is it what matters to you right now presently as we're in quarter two. Raquel and I have been painting our canvas. We've kind of created our vision board for 2026, but we got to protect that. But here's the truth, like, we can't protect what we're up to, what we want to like manifest, what we want our visions to come to light by ourselves, just chilling out, in a room. I don't care if you're single or, have somebody in your life or whatever. It's why we are called Rise and Thrive Together, because we know what our worth is. And now we need to learn how to claim that And that's coming through, to me, the art of asking. Because you can have all the boundaries in the world you want, but if you never open up your mouth to ask for what you need, you're just standing in a very
Mm.
well protected, empty room.
Wow.
And yeah, so I did my homework on that. Raquel's really like on the homework. So I did my homework. And I thought that was pretty deep when I was looking at that. Um, so I was like curious for you. Here we are, right? I've said that, and really what's there for you, or anything that you want to kind of share. Right now we're kind of quiet with our people in the chats, but we'll just keep on chatting about it because this is going to be fun this month.
So when I think about asking, I'm like your friend, or used to be. I didn't always ask for help. I
Mm.
felt like I had that cape on and the S on my chest, and the S did not stand for Superwoman, because all I ended up being was just overwhelmed and
Mm.
stressed and just like to the edge, of teetering over the cliff is what to the edge meant. And that's God, it's really stressful, lonely world
Mm.
to live in when we feel like asking for help means something other than, hey, I need some help. I can't do this alone. People think when you ask for help, it's a sign of weakness. And I used to be one of those people who felt like I could do everything, I could do it all. I didn't need anybody. And if I had to ask for help, I begrudgingly asked for it. So it was like, oh my God, such a last resort. And if there was a resort before the last, it was the second, it was the third, it was always something else, where I did not want to. And I think I was just afraid of someone saying no. I can't help you.
Ooh.
And then I would feel like, well, and I can tell you how I'd feel, because I would have felt like, then I knew I didn't want to ask. Why did I even bother? And you're setting this all up. But it's also the story that we're creating, because now I don't have a problem asking. Where it lands for me is that I know who to ask, because certain things that I need, some people in my life are not in a position to provide that. And I'm fully aware. Now, some people may be saying, well, you wouldn't know if you don't ask. I'm asking, I'm just not asking everyone. So
I
I
love
am being selective in who I ask, simply because, like we talked about, we closed out March when we said that not everyone is in that space and invited to my growth. And knowing my boundaries that I have set, I'm in a position where I know who to ask,
it. Yes.
if that makes any sense
No, it
to
really
us
does.
out there in TV world.
TV world, here we are. Two things came up for me when you were talking, because this is, like I said, I really couldn't wait for this. Is the first thing is what I have a question for everybody who is listening, type in or hit the replay. You know, what does it mean to you? Like Raquel was like, she came up with a reason of why she didn't, right? Raquel's always like, look at your why. Why are you not asking? Or like, you want to ask, and then why are you not? Right? So Raquel said there was this straight up for her, this conversation. It took a moment, and she was just like, I realized that fear of someone saying no. And then right there, she's like, see, I shouldn't have asked. Right. So for her, fear, fill in the blank. Fear is a bunch, and her fear of no. And then we can go another layer deep if we want to. We're not right now, but what does that mean if somebody says no? Because the question I have for everybody out there is, if you're not asking, you need support, help, whatever that is, business, personal, whatever. Why? And here's like what came up for me was we probably, it's, you said it perfectly. It's easier to do everything ourselves than to ask for help. So why do we feel like asking, if it's a raise, if it's for even for a break, or even asking for a hug? And the
Mm,
word that really hit me was that I'm being a burden, like I'm
mm,
impositioning someone. Different flavors of what Raquel and I are talking about, but I don't want to bother. That's what people often, I don't want to bother that person. And I realize that for myself. Now, it's turned a lot like you. I've changed. I'm an asker like you. I know who to ask. And to answer your question about like, well, you don't know if you don't try, that's exactly true. I have asked so many times that I literally know my boundaries. I know their boundaries and I know exactly who to ask for certain things over here and over here. So that's what we're talking about. We've asked so many times that we've gone through all of that mind stuff, gone through the fear and the no's and what does it mean and so on and so forth. Now I am selective because I know exactly who to ask and with ease and be okay with the no. But I'm very curious, like, with people out there, like, why don't you? Right? Because she's like, I had that big S on my chest. I often am like, it's so much easier. You and I work together in the same exact field and the same exact company. How many times is it easier to just do it yourself? Like,
but
just
you
do
know what? It's interesting, Reg, that you're saying easier. It's actually not. It the heck is not easier to just do it yourself. Because some things I didn't know how to do. And it doesn't mean, oh, well, now that you've done it, now you know the how. No, some things I really jacked up, y'all. So it's not easier. It gets done faster, but how? How does it get done faster? Is it efficient, effective? Is it running like a well oiled machine? Or
Mhm.
does it have all these more hiccups than movement?
Exactly. And it's over and over and over. So we know, right? Consistency, repetition, right? Commitment. That's amazing. We've gotten to almost our 3 year anniversary. And through you and I, repetition, consistency, commitment, we are learning restream, right? We used to have a partner. But here's the thing, Raquel and I didn't just go bye to that person who supported us that we hired to do the background of this. We got training. We didn't just go see ya, bye. We literally asked before we moved on to ourselves and had a really powerful ending and love and all of that, and asked for a walkthrough.
Mhm.
Because I'll tell you, between our schedules, it's not like can we or can't we, but it does take something. This is not her forte or my forte of this whole behind the scenes and what it takes to have graphics. I ask Raquel to do the canvas all the time. You know, it takes something to do that. It is not my strength. And where I'm at this point in time, hey, it can happen. Like
Mm,
it can happen, but not a but. And my ask for her at this point in stage of where my boundaries are in the capacity of things that I'm doing in life is what I'm asking for that support for. And then she has her ask for me, posting on, tagging, and doing that stuff. We have an equal playing ground, and it just makes it that easier. But one on one by ourselves, if we had to do it ourselves and do everything, so you're very correct. But it does take something out of commitment and consistency and doing it. So, but there is that mindset, right? That just goes, oh, it's so much easier. But is it, like you said, is it that much easier?
yeah.
Is it?
And
What?
to me, it doesn't seem like it's easier. It's just now that I know better. You know, they say
Yes.
when you know better, you do better.
Yes.
Sometimes you know better and you still don't do better. But
There's
that's a whole
another.
other show.
Right. That might be next month. That's a continuing next part too.
Right. I do have a question
Yeah,
for
please.
our audience. When you don't ask,
Mm,
what is it costing you?
mm.
Because we don't. And what is it costing us by not asking? For some people, it may be costing them more money. It may be a financial thing because had I asked for help, this may not have cost me, whatever this is, may not have cost me as much as I had to shell out. Or it wouldn't have cost me so much time, because time is something you cannot get back. Right? So you spend time on a project, you can't get that time, you can't recoup it. So what is it costing you to not ask? And then maybe it's a how. How do you ask people for stuff?
Well, I think
Sometimes
that's
it's the
great. I want to
how.
give them everything, right? I really want to stick to like this part because, we got a little quiet. So I'm putting it up there for people. We're putting up here like, why don't you ask for fill in the blank, whatever that is? But it's your why. That's what we're looking at. So take some time, pull out a notebook, pull out your journal, whatever you're doing, and fill in that why. Really take some time and ask yourself, why aren't you asking for help? And
Right.
the part two is then once you get to that, Raquel said the fear of the no. For me, it was like, two things, burden and like I can do it, easier, which Raquel very much reminded us usually is not the truth. That's some little like lie underneath there. What is it costing you to not ask?
Right.
And really, saying that out loud, right? Really saying that out loud right now. What is that costing me? That's costing me, like, number one, that whole mental health energy, that whole peace of mind, right? That we say we want to educate, equip, and empower. My goal in life is no matter what your circumstances that you're dealing with in your life, you can experience, hear me clearly, experience more power, peace of mind, freedom, and ease. And that's really what that came for me, peace of mind. Because spinning that wheel up there and trying to figure it all out, and all, then, it's like the domino effect for me. So for me, it's peace of mind. But really, guys, take that, and look at like, why am I not asking? Fill in the blank. And then once you get to your why, and be straight about it. Asking, we're asking for you not to like make yourself bad and wrong. We're not here to be like, I'm not, and then like we're not here to whip you or anything. Just straight up. That's between you. We're here to provide you an opportunity to get some freedom around this. Let it all out, and then be like, and now what is it costing you? Which I'm going to really say for most of you, it's that peace of mind, that like overwhelm, frustration, I don't know, whatever, fill in your own blank. So I love this. So I don't want to get to the how. I think we got a lot to uncover for the rest of this
Well, here's
show.
something.
Yeah,
Asking a
please.
question or asking, because we're talking about asking a question,
Hmm.
right? So asking a question is more than obtaining information.
Yeah.
Asking a question also makes you vulnerable. It shows your vulnerable side when you ask a question.
Yep.
Sometimes it's an ask that I don't know. What does that mean? Can
Yep.
you explain that to me more?
Yeah. I think that's the part of what I was saying. That why are you not asking? It's that meaning making machine that we have. We have gone through this many times and we'll remind you that, we start making meaning about everything before we're even out of the womb. Here we are, boom, we're out into there. And all of this information, our brain is an absolute sponge and it takes in everything. Everything, everything, everything. It's a file cabinet. We don't even have words yet, and it's already making meaning.
Hmm.
Think about us, take us away. We got a kid. You've got to hear you're out in the world, you hear a kid crying. There isn't Our brain comes up with a million different things. That child is communicating something. I'm hungry, I'm wet, I'm tired, whatever that is, right? We don't know. That's what we've been doing since the day, let's just say, since we're born. And we start making up all of these meanings in life. And I'll say it again, between 0 and 5, bless you,
Hmm.
0 and 5 is when the first something happened to you. And it does not have to be traumatic. I will share mine. It was not traumatic. My brother, took my pink dog because my mom no longer wanted me to have this big pink stuffed animal, and she wanted me to get rid of it. I was 4 or 5 or 3, I don't even know, whatever it was, and because it caused allergies, and no, and then asked my brother to remove it. I didn't know this. Came home off the bus, saw a black bag, and out was a pink paw, like a little stuffed animal pink paw. He chopped it up into pieces and put it into, yes. My brother, by the way, was 7. Like, like we're like 4 years difference. At that moment, right? Like, seriously, we can laugh about this, right? It's a stuffed animal, people. But I asked my daughter, I love this animal. Now it's removed, chopped up into little pieces. By the way, my
Wow.
brother is super awesome. I mean, he's passed away, but like he was awesome. He was not no serial killer. And my my mind made a meaning around that. I made a meaning around that. Right? Can't trust. Like the big adult is
Mm.
like, don't trust. Right? Whatever. I can't think of the child moment of it. I can only think of adult. So if I can go back, but here's the truth, guys. About real talk. You can ask my husband. I I'm not a hoarder, like at all, but I do carry tchotchkes, like a lot of little. There's reasons, like, and then my daughter's getting it, like, I don't know, like this pen. Oh my God, Raquel gave me this pen. There's that kind of thing. And I think if you remember a couple of years ago, Raquel, it took me forever to get rid of the china cabinet with all the stuff that was on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that I had a reason for that, right? My mother, my brother, all of those things. Like, listen, they passed away. These mean something because I made that mean something. They're in here. The tchotchkes were like the attachment. So that's what I mean about this meaning making machine that we make. So there's something. You have a thing about past you of I asked because I was afraid of the no. So if we're going to go to that layer lower, what were you afraid of the no about? What did you make that no? If you asked me for something and I
Mm-hmm.
said no, what did you make that mean about you and about me?
I don't think I made it mean anything about me. It was more like, oh, that person, they're in a situation to help and they just don't want to. That's not a nice person.
There you go.
I don't even
There's your meaning.
understand why I'm operating with and dealing with them. But I didn't make it mean anything about me.
No, but see, that's great. But so that's the perfect example right there. She's like, boom. So it's better not to ask because that no is going to be like, you know, whatever that conversation is about that person. She made it
Mm-hmm.
about that person. Maybe once in a while, it's true, right? Sometimes you get some evidence to say, hey, but most of the time, she was operating many times around her asks from that point of view. And then she just didn't ask, right? So you had the big S, and I could do it myself. So tell me then, what was the cost about that when you did that, when you used to operate that way? What was the cost around that?
Operate with me doing it all myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get burnt out real fast. I just never realized that I was at burnout and overwhelm and stress and all the other adjectives that I could use that we all are guilty of sometimes. It was just a lot. The good part about that is that it made me feel like I was important when I had a gazillion things going on at once. And oh my gosh, I can't. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. And then it was like, oh my gosh, I'm sick all the time. It was like,
And then wondering you're not doing something fun with friends, and
yeah,
yeah,
it's one of those things where being super busy and then you have no time for self, it's not a good trade off.
oof, right?
It's just not. That's not a good trade off at all. And don't confuse being super busy with being super productive because they're two distinct and different things. There's some people who are busy and they can just do busy work and get nothing done. They
Nowhere.
are as unproductive as they possibly could be, but they're busy. And then you have people who may not be as busy and they're extremely productive. They can get things done because they don't have so many things tugging and pulling, or people tugging and pulling, needing their attention. So they can hone in and be productive. Busy does not equal productive.
That is something that I've taken. You've said that in the beginning of the year. In January, we're up to April. Busy does not equal productive. That is like on the vision board, right? Important. No, it really is. And Raquel knows me for a long time. Many people out there know me for a long time. That was when we got into pruning, that big year about pruning. I looked busy all the time and was exhausted, tired, not making the money that I desired and knew what my worth was because it looked all out there, busy and whatever. Now, very, very creative. My boundaries, very productive. And in the world, people are busy. It's busy, but I am like spending more time with my family. We got to go away this weekend, doing very cool things, with my daughter and my husband, and some really cool things coming up. And we'll be sharing along, the year as it goes through, and making more money than I
Mm.
have. Gotta say, I'll be like bragging because this is one thing as women, you know, this was my best year inside of fully letting go of all of the coaching stuff that you and I, did. And I focus mainly on fitness classes, one-to-one training classes, and then a couple of projects, right? My
Mm.
leadership projects and some other people that know I can support them in other projects. And I had my best year. Just got the taxes done today. And that's really, really when I pruned and got away from the busyness and stayed focused on, like you always said, it's not the doing, but it's who I am. My company is here for you, right? And so it says coaching and fitness, and the fitness and then the coaching goes around any project. If I'm helping somebody move, if I'm helping somebody sort out a situation, and this time I asked to be paid and created
Mm.
beautiful invoices and created beautiful contracts and really created amazing boundaries and communication. So easy, while all the circumstances in life happened and are still happening. So very, very exciting. And that's kind of what I got from you. And one of the things that just came to me was like, you know, again, look, we're already 33 minutes into this and we have so much more to go. But, we're really talking about looking at what's that why? Why aren't you asking? Like, really look at that inner voice, on this is one that hit me because here's a couple that came up to me when I was researching this. I shouldn't have to ask. How
Mm.
many people have that? I shouldn't have to ask. Old me, definitely when I was in my old job. Like I had interns around me, people who worked with me. It was I shouldn't have to ask because they should know. If ever anybody remembers me, I said that's shoulding all over yourself. They should know. I shouldn't have to ask. Or here's another one. If I ask, like I said, mine was often like being a burden,
Mm.
you know? So that's, the first big, 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 big piece we're going to ask you guys, and you get a choice. This is up to you. It's your life. But hey, write to us. Throw that in to Rise and Thrive Together when you're watching this in your comments. Why aren't you asking? And remind, you know, part two, Raquel's biggest one is then once you got your why, what's the cost of you for not asking? What is that cost? And it's usually a way of being, like, peace of mind, you know, time to do the things of self-care that Raquel shared about that she has put into her life. Because look at how beautiful she looks, looking good. Even like,
Here's something I'd like for our audience to do also, Reg,
okay,
is once you write it, why you don't ask and what's it costing. I kind of want you to look at that. I want you to go and ask. Ask whomever
I love that.
it is. Now go ask them. Because you know now why it's costing you if you're being honest with yourself. And why don't you ask? Are you afraid that they'll say no, like I was? And then go ask. Now I know why I wasn't. So what's going to happen now if I do ask? So go ask. Listen, I ask a lot of people for a lot of things. And some people can produce, and some people are like, I wish I could. I got you next time. And I'm like, it's all good. But now I'm asking for information from a lot of folks because there's a couple of things that I have that I want to get out this year. And I'm asking everybody who's done it. So if you haven't done it, I'm not asking you because I'm just not. You can help maybe in another area, but not right here in the beginning stages. So that's what I mean when I said earlier, I ask people
Yes.
who I know can do or produce or share or lend or whatever it is that I'm asking them for.
So
So
important. That's
that's what I'm
so
doing.
big.
Yeah.
That is so big. When I mean, I think I'm going to just say for me, being an entrepreneur, we've heard this for anybody who's an entrepreneur, business people, whatever, you know, use your mentor. So why are you going to ask someone, right? They're not really great with money, or their situation and, living paycheck to paycheck, nothing wrong, been there, done that, still focusing on that, versus someone who is, you know, really great with money. We've had some great financial people on here, people that really support that you see things are happening. Here's your boundary. Like, you're most likely going to get your no over somebody who's a paycheck to paycheck versus somebody who is doing what they're doing. And there's nothing wrong. We're not judging. She's just being very specific about saying, who can I ask? And I'll just leave it with, before we say goodbye, like Raquel knows, one of the things I love to do, it's something like a fun game. Go back to the puzzle piece. I'm going to use that puzzle piece. The art of asking in our community is a piece of the puzzle that I bring to the art of asking is resources. So no Regina. Regina equals R, resources. Anytime somebody has a thing like, what does R stand for? I come up with radiant and resources,
Oh,
right?
I love Radiant.
Radiant always, right? Gotta radiant. But resources, and she'll always say, we talked about you this weekend, Raquel. We drove to Tampa.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, we were driving to Tampa and seeing all like these cows and this and that and so on and so forth. Somehow or another, peanut farms came up. I don't know how. Don't ask me, because it was where we were driving in the middle of Tampa and my daughter saw something about peanut farms. I start laughing out loud and she's like, Mommy, what's so funny? And I said, Raquel. And then Josh was like, oh, Mommy knows somebody about almost everything. And I said, oh, I think because we saw boiled peanuts or something. And I said, nope, I have still not yet found the peanut farmer, because Raquel knows when she really needs a resource, a connection, a person for something, she usually comes and reaches me and a bunch of other people. But since we're talking, and then she always says that if you need a peanut farmer, just ask her. So we were deciding this weekend that I have not found one yet. And wouldn't it be funny if I went back to get my doctorate in peanut farming so I could say, I am your peanut farmer? Like, we were.
What's so funny is I know someone that knows someone who's a peanut farmer, and I'm looking for the intro.
See, so now here it is. She's asked me, but now it's been such a fun conversation that now she knows somebody who knows somebody. So at the end of the day, since I'm connected to Raquel, now I know someone who knows someone who knows someone
Who knows a peanut farmer?
who knows a peanut farmer. So funny. I do want to say, like, really, the art of asking is a big missing puzzle piece for our community. And I'm going to say for many, many people. So that's why it's super important that, we really picked it as we're in quarter two. Quarter two.
Mm.
We're not doing business. We're not doing personal life, because guess what? Life is life. And maybe you have a business in it. But the fact is, we are in quarter two of this life this thing called life of 2026. And I'm going to assert out there that your ask, if things are not working the way you want them to be, the art of asking, there's a little glitch. So let's have some fun
Mm.
with it. There's a little glitch. And I think it's something like, why aren't you asking? What's the impact of it? Because we're going to get deep, deep into this. I'm excited.
That almost sounds ominous and scary.
Ooh. There you go. See, it's the fear. She still
But
got that fear.
ladies and gentlemen, always such a great time with you guys and of course hanging out with Reg. So until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep choosing you. Take care.